I need somebody help, not just anybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Car Ride Reactions, the show where we don't need no help. I just walked out of the new Send Help movie starring Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien, the movie that dares to ask, what if the movies Castaway, The Devil Wears Prada, and Misery had a baby? Because that's essentially what this was in terms of premise and execution. I enjoyed it a lot. I will say, I think that my theater enjoyed it more than I did. I liked it, but my theater was like clapping and laughing at some scenes that I didn't necessarily think were fun. There was some humor in it, but I didn't necessarily think the scenes were super funny. But people were laughing and everything. So the energy in my theater was great. The crowd was fantastic and really enjoyed it. But so I give it, my score would be probably 7.5 out of 10. But keep in mind that my theater probably was higher than that. So. Good thing started off with the acting. The acting was great. Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien they're really make up 85, if not more, percent of the screen time in the movie. It's really just them stranded on an island. There's obviously some setup to that and some, resolution at the end that is a little bit different and not just them two. But for the most part, it's just them two. And so if you're ever going to have a movie where two people and their dialogue really has to carry you to the finish line and it doesn't bore the hell out of you, that's a testament to the acting that was done. So shout out to Dylan O'Brien, shout out to Rachel McAdams. Thought they both crushed it. It was, if I had to get into some of the things I didn't like about the movie, it was a little weird. I mean, not in a way that I didn't know what I was signing up for, but it was a little weird. It was a little out there. And I think this is, even though I'm about to say this is something that I'm knocking the movie for, it's also one of the things I did kind of like about the movie. And that's, you're not really like sure, like there's points in the movie where I personally kind of went back and forth who I was rooting for, or who, I don't want to say rooting for necessarily, but if you know enough from the trailer to know that they're going to butt heads in this, like when they butt heads, you kind of have some conflict of like whose side you're on, because going into the movie, it looks like it's going to be as simple as Rachel McAdams has a dickhead boss and they're stranded on an island. So obviously, he gets whatever he deserves. But I mean, they kind of evolve. Like Rachel McAdams' character, Linda, she's not exactly, not everything she does in the movie is super noble and super great. There's definitely moments where I think to myself, if she gets what's coming to her, it ain't going to make me too upset. So, like I said, it was a little weird in that sense, but also, to be fair, I do like movies and shows and things that have complicated characters and keep you guessing like who really is the good person, because life's not really like that. Life's not as simple as who's good and who's bad. There's more nuance, there's more levels to it, and both those characters in the movie were very leveled, or very layered and nuanced characters. I gotta say, as far as Sam Raimi as a director, man, Sam Raimi crushed this shit as a director. What a weird movie. I mean, I know him mostly from like the Spider-Man movies. I know he has some background in horror, and the horror elements were prevalent in this one, because this was a very genre-bending movie for sure. It was funny. It was kind of, it was funny at parts, but it was definitely a little scary and creepy. Some action in it, some body horror. So very genre-bending movie that, if you're into a lot of different things, you're probably going to get a lot of, it's probably going to touch on a lot of different genres for you. So I really enjoyed it, man. Like I said, 7.5 out of 10 for me. I don't know what it could have done that would have made it better for me. I don't know. Like, I don't feel like I've done enough of these now to know like what feels like an 8 or feels like a 9 to me, and I don't think this was quite there. But if someone gave it a much higher score, I don't think I'd really have any complaints with that, to be completely honest with you. Like, I'm actually really curious when I get on Letterboxd what the average score for this is, because I got a feeling it's gonna do better than what I said, or I feel like the average score is gonna be better than what I gave it. So, by the way, y'all, I'm backing in right now while doing this, and that was actually pretty solid. I jinxed it, and I gotta go back for take 2, but that was actually a pretty solid back-end job I did while with mic in hand, one-handed. So, um, yeah. So I mean, I don't want to, nothing too. I'll get into some spoilers now, some specific scenes. I'd never winced in a theater so hard or cringed so hard as to when she poisoned him and paralyzed him temporarily and then pretended like she was going to castrate him. That shit had me cringing like you wouldn't believe. I was tightening up and crossing my legs and shit. Oh my God, that shit fucking got me, bro. Um, I I think some other cringy scenes. I mean, when they were fighting and they were really scrapping, there was some like I usually do pretty well with like gore and violence, but there were some ones where I was like, hot damn, that looked like it fucking hurt. It had me wincing a little bit. So um if the trailer looks interesting to you, I would say this is one of those movies where if the trailer looked interesting to you, it's probably going to deliver on like what you want it to be. Um if it didn't look interesting to you, I don't think it's going to surprise you and catch you off guard or be anything like that. But so maybe pass on it. But I thoroughly enjoyed. If you're a horror and thriller kind of fan, it's probably worth checking out. If you like the whole like stranded on a desert island type of vibes, it's also probably good because there's a lot of just like surviving and making stuff happen in the movie that's really good. So yeah, I mean, solid start for. I mean, we saw Mercy already, but solid second film for 2026. I'm really excited to see some of the stuff we got coming up next week. Ken's back for Crime 101. We're really excited for Crime 101. It's getting some good early reviews. Um, I'm excited to see Halle Berry and Chris Hemsworth and Mark Ruffalo do their thing in that one. And then I think we got Goat. I'm not sure if Ken and I are going to do one of these for Goat or not, but if we do, we'll pump it out shortly after Crime 101, maybe the week after, just because they both come out the same day. So yeah, make sure you guys are staying tuned, staying tapped in, and following us on Instagram and TikTok. I've been posting a lot more of the no context reviews or no context reactions out there on TikTok. I did one for every episode of Wonder Man. I'm doing them for Night of the Seven Kingdoms right now. We got Daredevil and Invincible and Lanterns and some other shows coming out this year. So maybe we'll do some more stuff for that. Maybe Ken and I will get some more show content out for you guys. You guys seem to be liking that. So appreciate you guys watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And then I believe I forgot to do favorite trailer, so I'll go ahead and knock out that real quick. I'm pumped for Scream 7. I think Scream 7's also at the end of the month. I don't think Ken's a Scream fan, so I'll probably be doing that one solo, but really excited for Scream. One of my favorite horror franchises, and hope they do a good job with this one. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.